Hey, greetings everyone, and welcome back to the Air Warfare Group's Wingman training series. In this video, I'm going to briefly discuss situational awareness as it relates to our training program in a combat simulation environment. But first, what is situational awareness? According to the internet, situational awareness is the understanding of environment, its elements, and how it changes in respect to time and other factors. I try to think of situational awareness as three different levels. In level 1, you're perceiving critical factors in the environment. SA begins with the perception of your mental picture of reality. In order to perceive this, you have to use your primary senses and to a sim pilot, that's basically seeing and hearing, or listening if you want to really, process what you're doing in your brain. And it's such as like seeing a target moving from left to right or listening to input from your wingman or a controller. In the real world, you can also add other senses like touch or feeling of the amount of G's that's affecting your body. But in the sim world, that translates to hearing your G breath and seeing your screen turn gray or red out, or even go to full blackout. Good night. Perceiving the information must be done in a timely and useful manner so that you can process it. There is no good use for good information that comes after you impact the ground or get shot down. In other words, you must gather all the relevant data that's needed and process it at the right time as you need it. Once that information is processed, then you have to transfer it into action. The more you get skilled with the SA mindset, the better you will get at it and the faster you'll be able to do it. It's also very important to remember that your perception is affected by three factors. Number one is past experiences. You might act on information based on a past experience with the knowledge gained from it. But when something looks familiar or to what you're familiar with, you may react if it was the same, but it might not be right. Number two is your expectations. You may interpret information in such a way that affirms what you expect to see or what you might expect to do, take action on. You may also pay more attention to information that fits your expectations. I like to call this expectation bias, if that's such a thing, and it can also be deadly. And then finally, number three, your filters. You may unconsciously filter out some information or disregard it. For example, you may not pay attention when something doesn't match your mental picture. I have caught myself doing this in the real world while piloting an aircraft, and I've done it many times in the simulation world flying with others. Moving on, let's talk about level 2. Level 2 is the understanding of the critical factors that affect safety, your mission goals, and ultimate success. This means that you must be able to properly process the information. This level of SA involves understanding, analyzing, classifying, and integrating information. By understanding, analyzing, and classifying and integrating information you perceive, it serves as the basis for subsequent decision making and performance. At this level, you grasp the meaning of the importance of your perception as the basis of what actions to take. You are also able to determine how much time it might require to take the completed action. However, you're also confronted with a situation beyond your knowledge, and you may misunderstand the information, interpret incorrectly, or solely rely on what you know or have experience with in the past. Being situationally aware doesn't mean you have to keep an external focus or an equal focus on every piece of information or element in your environment. If you can't process information effectively and efficiently, you can easily lose focus. SA is basically the ability to identify what's relevant and disregard what isn't, analyze it for the situation, and take appropriate action. With SA, you can always reassess the results of your actions, and basically you can update your perceptions as needed. The popular YouTuber and Air Force fighter pilot Hazard Lee published a video a while back where he stated that he made about 10,000 decisions during each flight. Deciding what information is important and what to put in the back, as well as deciding what action can take, can really add up in your typical 1.4 to 3.0 hour combat mission. I've seen combat air patrols punch skies in the real world for 6 hours or more during Operation Southern Watch. This adds up to a lot of decision, but it also fills a lot of piddle packs. Now let's look at level 3. Level 3, it's the understanding of what might happen within the situation in the near future, kind of like predicting. This is the highest level of SA, and basically the ability to project events that might happen based on your analysis of the information and the results of your actions. In level 1, you gathered the information and built a mental perception on the environment. And in level 2, you process the information, but in level 3, you try to estimate the time you might take to process the information, to resolve your actions, to predict what might happen next. But you have to be careful. Anticipating or predicting the future based on what occurred in the past is dangerous. The danger of applying this established procedure without first considering whether it's appropriate for the situation is deadly. This is why we train before we attempt to do it in combat. How do you train for situational awareness? Well, you guys may have heard me say that air warfare is a team sport. So train as a team, applying the basic principles of CRM. CRM stands for Crew Resource Management or Cockpit Resource Management if you're a solo pilot. And it's basically 5 steps. 1 is knowing the game plan, following the known procedures, cross-checking and verifying information, providing ongoing updates through the crosstalk and callouts, and anticipating what steps or possible events might come next. What's the best way to accomplish team training? Well, here's how we do it. We like to do 4 factors in each one of our missions: plan, brief, execute, and debrief every mission. It's obvious that such factors as weather or maybe even darkness might affect your situational awareness, so train in those environments as well as KAVU daytime missions. Each time you go up and fly solo, it provides an opportunity for you to develop your SA skills, even if you're all by yourself. Try things like forming the bandit's position in your mind by calculating the reference from your bra or bullseye calls, or even through wingman's or leads calls if you have one of those. Become an expert with your radar, understanding its capabilities and weaknesses. Discipline yourself to not, and I say not, don't look at the F10 map to try to get a better SA, or scroll through the zoom function like you have some superhuman vision. At the end of your sortie, go ahead and review the track replay file if it still survives, or a TAC view file to see what the perception of the environment, if the perception of the environment matched what you thought you saw in the data recorded. As I close, I want to quote a well-known strike fighter pilot and Top Gun instructor most of you know through his show, The Fighter Pilot Podcast. Vincent Jello Aiello said it best in one of his early episodes in reference to situational awareness. I couldn't find the episode, but I generally will paraphrase what I gathered from the discussion. It went something like this. There are 3 types of SA. There's good SA, poor SA, and bad SA. Good SA is when you have adequate information, you perceive it accurately, and process it in time to take the right actions and decisions of which are properly done in the given situation. Poor SA is when you don't have all the information, but you have some. You grasp part of it, but not completely, and you process it and act in time to avoid disaster or reach your goal with some type of outcome. Now, bad SA is where your perceiving isn't really what's there, and you either process it incorrectly or act mistakenly as a result. Bad SA can kill you. As I close, I want to remind everyone that AWG is a free resource on YouTube, and we do not monetize or generate video revenue. So you can watch our content all the way to the end without the hassle of having to skip through commercials embedded within. If you find anything of value in the content, please let us know with a thumbs up and a comment. It really helps us stay motivated when you subscribe. And also check out our associate partners listed in our recommended channels link. You should also look at our community, playlist, shorts, and live tabs for additional content that you might have missed. I do hope you're all safe and you guys stay well this fall, autumn, and we'll see you in the next video. This is Juice.